What's up, our guy? Carl Medina. Welcome in. Yep. So I think that National Night Out is an event that happens at a lot of precincts, a lot of municipalities nationwide on the same day, but I'm not totally sure about that. What's up, Drophead 74? Okay, you're watching Press for Transparency. I believe today is August 6th. It's a Tuesday. It's, I don't know, sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. I'm just doing a video about National Night Out here in Durango, Colorado. Basically, from what I can tell, it's an event that happens at a bunch of municipalities throughout the country. For instance, in Aztec, New Mexico, there was an event going on tonight. I just showed up at this event because the rainstorm just ended, and I wanted to be able to get down here before they all scatter. And you know, we're at a public park. It's a traditional public forum, and I want to be able to redress grievances here, which is sometimes difficult when it comes to police interactions, traffic stops, or you know, when I find them out on the street, when I have encounters with them out on the street. So wanted to come out here and be able to ask some questions, and whether or not they answer those questions is a totally different story, because as you know, there's very little transparency in law enforcement today. So here I am, and I've written up some questions. Got 25 questions that I've thought of in advance, just so I don't run out of ideas when I encounter these public servants. You know, basically, from what I can tell, it's a public relations stunt that they do to, I don't know, help with their recruiting or something. However, I have greater concerns about the law enforcement in my community, the peace officers, so to speak. Basically, the behavior of the police in my community, I think, is at times akin to gang behavior. So I know that sounds like a stretch. You know, at times, most of the time it probably is, right? The word gang is probably not always applicable to what the peace officers do in my community and many communities. But in this instance, I just want to share a definition of gang as used by the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security's Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE. So I've got the definition here, of gang, and I'm going to read that to you so that you can try to determine if that applies to these blue line individuals in my community and in your community. Number 1, it's an association of 3 or more individuals. Number 2, whose members collectively identify themselves by adopting a group identity, which they use to create an atmosphere of fear or intimidation, frequently by employing one or more of the following: a common name, as we know, Durango Police Department. Slogan, here's the deal, here's the deal. That's their common slogan. Identifying sign. Identifying sign is the blue line flag. And that's the most frequent gang sign that we see these individuals using. Symbol, well, the blue line flag is a symbol. Tattoo, well, we can find some tattoos on these individuals. Whose purpose in part is to engage in criminal activity and which uses violence or intimidation to further its criminal objectives. Whose members engage in criminal activity or acts of juvenile delinquency that, if committed by an adult, would be crimes with the intent to enhance or preserve the association's power, reputation, or economic resources. So 5, the association may also possess some of the following characteristics. The members may employ rules for joining and operating within the association. The members may meet on a recurring basis. The association may provide physical protection of its members from others. The association may seek to exercise control over a particular geographic location or region, or it may simply defend its perceived interests against rivals. The association may have an identifiable structure. Okay, that's interesting. All right, guys, enough of me talking. I'm gonna go see if I can get them to talk. That's what I came here for. And they're quickly scattering, right? Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing well.
You got some candy?
Oh, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. Thanks for the offer.
Yeah.
What's the special occasion?
It's National Night Out.
Okay.
So we police departments and public safety all over the country today. We're doing a special event where we get out with the community. We had food, live music. You missed the music, and just kind of hang out and get to know your first responders.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just for law enforcement. It's for...
No, we had seat out here. There's a fire department there. You got search and rescue if you look. We had some local small businesses that were here to support it.
Okay. Do you guys record the event?
No.
On your own?
No.
You don't even have the body cams rolling today?
Nope, not for the event.
Are you guys on the clock right now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, do you know what the 5 freedoms are that are written in the First Amendment?
I'm not playing the game, Adam.
Are our constitutional rights a game?
Yeah, no, our constitutional rights aren't a game, but the way you do this is, and I'm not going to play.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, you invited me here, so why aren't you answering my questions?
I'm not required to answer your questions.
Okay.
That's all.
That's all, huh?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's not very transparent of you, is it? What do you have to hide about your training?
You didn't ask anything about training.
What's your name and badge number?
I'm Commander Stacy, 6614. You didn't ask anything about training, so I'm not hiding anything about training, Adam.
Don't you get training on the First Amendment? That was part of your post-training, correct?
Adam Howell.
Was that part of your post-training?
Adam Howell.
What's your name and badge number?
Commander Stacy. Yep.
What's your badge
Adam Howell,
number?
if you want to record, that's fine.
What's your badge number?
6614.
6614.
Yes, sir. So Adam Howell, if you want to record us, it's fine, but I'm not going to play any games with you. I'm not going to answer silly questions.
So answering questions is a game to you, huh?
No,
Of the
what you're doing
citizenry?
is a game.
So any questions from the citizenry is a game, huh?
No, absurd questions and unrelated things that don't make
Oh,
any
really?
sense to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you ashamed of what you don't know about the Constitution?
Not ashamed at all, Adam.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but
Have you ever arrested a bad cop?
This one's got the stick in it.
Have you ever arrested any bad cops, Stacy?
Pull it up.
this one.
There it is.
It just takes a minute to figure it out.
Do you have the time? Do you have the time?
7:30.
7:30. I thought you guys were staying until 8. You're not staying until 8 o'clock?
You know,
We'll just wait for the
it all
table.
kind of died down early because of the weather.
Okay.
You get all the corners undone?
Do you mind talking to me about policing?
Yeah, I do mind.
Why is that? I mean, why'd you come out to a public park if you didn't want to talk about policing? Is there a reason? Is there a reason you came to a public park without wanting to talk about policing in our community? None of you want to talk about policing in our community? Why'd you come here? Is this a public relations stunt, Stacy? I'm just wondering. You came here to
You're trying to probe and be silly, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to play that game, Adam.
silly.
Yes.
So questions are silly, huh?
No, but the way you're behaving is.
Why is that? I'm a citizen of this community, and I want to know about the policing that goes down in our community.
It's right there. No, you can't.
The other side.
Other side. Slide it over.
Does my speech offend you?
No.
So what's silly about it? Can you be more specific about what's silly? What's silly about questions? I just want to know. I mean, I think it's a fair question,
Hey, you can ask what you want. Doesn't mean I have to answer it.
right?
Okay. So I'm glad we're on the same page.
Well, why'd you come to a public event if you don't want to answer questions?
It's called community engagement.
So is this community engagement to you, just ignoring somebody who has genuine questions about community policing?
No, I'm ignoring somebody who's getting in my face and asking questions that don't make any
I'm
sense.
at
right
least a good 5 feet from you, sir.
now. Okay.
Why are you embellishing about me being in your face? Do you like to embellish?
Adam, how?
Do you embellish on affidavits? How about police reports? Have you ever lied on a police report or an affidavit?
Adam, like I said, I'm not going to play a game.
Games, huh? Games.
The way you behave is a game.
We're just
You decided to come out here. You invited me.
Or is this ours?
No, it's the city's. Their trailer's way on the other side.
Okay. You just want to
Didn't you invite the community out here? Why are you scurrying off so quickly?
Scurrying. That's a good word. I don't see me scurrying. I see me packing up.
Is this community policing where you ignore the independent journalist in town? Is this community policing? I'm just wondering. I've heard there's a term that's used, community policing. I've always wondered what that meant. Is that where you ignore your political enemies or your rivals or people that ask you tough questions?
You're not my enemy. You're not my rival.
So people that just ask you questions about the Constitution? Why is the Constitution such a joke to you, sir?
I didn't say it was a joke. Why are you putting words?
Well,
in my
you
mouth?
said it was silly.
No, I said you were. Silly.
My questions are silly, right?
I said you were silly.
I am silly. I haven't made any jokes, Stacy. Not a single joke.
Well, you keep putting words in my mouth.
What jokes have I made to constitute a silly behavior? I think these are genuine questions
I know you do.
that need to be answered.
They don't need to be answered. You want them to be answered, but they don't need to be. Okay.
Do you tell all the citizenry that they're silly when they're asking you questions?
No.
Okay, can you tell me how many people you put in jail for victimless crimes, Stacy?
None.
None, huh? Not a single one. Under a municipal ordinance? On a single jailed individual for no victim? Is it a crime if there's no victim?
You tell me.
I opened that one up because I got to get all the stuff out of the passenger seat.
Okay.
All those window covers.
Yes. All right.
We good?
We're good.
Good, that camera cover.
He's me backing up here in a minute, Adam, so if you don't want to get run over.
Okay. How's it going?
How you doing?
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Jonathan Meisner, 9169. I'm just talking to someone about some personal stuff.
Okay. Am I interrupting your conversation?
Yeah, you kind of are, but
Okay. Sorry about that.
walk away. That'd be nice.
Yeah, we're in public. I mean, I'm just recording a public official in the course of the duty, right?
Keep your head up.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Can't answer, man. Welcome to Buckley Park.
That's full? Oh, okay.
Is there a pocket? There's a pocket on the side of that.
What's up, Four Corner Fist in the Air? Thanks for joining. Looks like they tried to have some live music here earlier, but it was raining.
You needed a fork the other day. There's a fork. Alan, what do we do with the trash?
We'll get it. I've got a crew coming any minute.
All right, let's take this over to the trash.
Take what belongs to
So, I mean, we're not going to be able to.
I just brought them over.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
What you got?
What's your name and badge number?
My name is Sergeant Sweetwood, and my badge number is 147.
Oh, thank you.
You bet.
You mind talking about community policing on the record?
Trying to clean it up, but I'll be back in just a second.
Okay. This event was supposed to go till 8. I'm sure they had a pretty abysmal turnout. When it started, it was raining, kind of nasty weather, but it cleared up about half an hour ago. But yeah, for the record, thanks for joining. I'm trying to press hard, you know. So much of the time I spend is just passively recording from a sidewalk or a street or some park or a building. I really want to just ask questions of the police in my community. But as you can tell, there is very little transparency with our public servants. They're not going to ask they're not going to answer my questions. What's up?
Who are you?
Hey, my name's Adam. How's it going?
I'm doing good. What can I do for you, Adam?
Oh, I just wanted to ask some questions. I know you guys came out here to meet with the community, and I got a lot of questions.
Well, I don't have a whole bunch. I mean, you're more than welcome to come by the PD.
Well, this event was supposed to go till 8, right? And so why are you making an excuse and wanting to leave?
I'm not making excuses, sir. This is the band played till 7 and everybody dispersed, so we're dispersing now.
Okay. So could I just ask you a few questions before you take off?
What are your questions?
Do you run your body camera during these events?
No.
Okay. Hey, I'm really concerned about the training that the Durango Police Department gets on our constitutional rights. Do you mind telling me what the fight?
Okay, I'm not going to answer those questions here. This was a community event. If you wish to ask those questions, you're welcome to come by the police department. You can ask to have an audience with the chief to answer those questions, okay?
Why? What does that have to do with?
It has nothing, because this event has nothing to do with the questions that you have right now. Okay, I'm not going to delve into that right now.
Okay, what are
Right.
the parameters for the questions that can be asked at these
Okay, well,
events?
if you want to ask about the event that we had, that's fine, but, you know.
So that's the only question you're going to answer is about the
That's all
event?
I'm going to answer tonight, yes, sir. Okay, like I said, this is not here to talk about constitutionality stuff. This was a public event, so this is what we're doing tonight.
Okay.
So National Night Out is a national event that happens once a year, and it's nationwide, and it's where we invite the community to come join us and get to meet first responders.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Okay. And so who's the band that played?
No, sir.
All right,
I
you
think
want help
we're
backing
good.
out?
Huh?
You want help backing out?
Yes, I will do that here in a second. And the band was Stillwater music, okay?
Okay.
All right, you have a good evening, madam.
So why is that the only question you're willing to answer? Is there a parameter? Did your boss tell you not to answer questions?
No, sir. I'm just
You're just
telling
you
you,
don't.
I'm just going to answer questions about National Night Out, not about your agenda that you want to have.
So there's no transparency in community policing? No transparency in policing or the questions you're willing to answer?
Like I said, you're welcome to stop by the police department at a later time, and you can submit your questions, and we'll. I will. Good. Watch out.
That's not very genuine. Is this just a?
Yeah, that's mine.
Is this just a public relations stunt, Sweetwood?
It's not a stunt.
Is that why you're not willing to answer real questions about
I'm
what
not here if you
community
want.
policing?
I told you, Adam, you can come by the PD, okay?
I could come by the PD, but I can also ask you questions right now, right?
Okay. Thank you. You're good.
See you, Nick.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Okay, so Sweetwood is scurrying off like a cockroach. He's scurrying away. This is Sergeant Sweetwood. He's not willing to answer questions, especially not about the Constitution. They hate answering questions about the Constitution. How about questions about the new cop shop that you guys want to build right here at
There's a website, Engage Durango. All the information's on there.
Well, if we have a website, then what's the point of having you, who's not willing to answer questions? What's the point of having you here if you're not willing to answer questions? Makes no sense. Sweetwood is scurrying away, guys.
Thanks for putting on the stand out.
The event is not about talking about the Constitution. They despise the Constitution, guys. That's why they're not willing to answer questions about it. They don't know what it says or how it applies to their jobs. They don't study it. They obviously have some disdain for these types of discussions. So what are the parameters for talking to cops at a community event like this? Does your boss tell you what you're not allowed to talk about here? I think maybe the more proper forum for this would be an office where, you know, you can avoid all transparency together.
You want to schedule a meeting with our PIO? Go for it.
Who's the PIO?
Tom Sluice with the city.
Tom Sluice. Yeah, but Tom Sluice didn't swear an oath, did he? Did he swear an oath to the Constitution?
He's the PIO for the city. If you want information, you can go through him.
Why are you so ashamed to talk about constitutional issues?
Why are you assuming I'm ashamed, Adam Howell?
Well,
You're
'cause
putting
not
a lot of emotion into my head that you don't know was there.
Well, you say it's silly. The discussion about the Constitution is silly.
No, I said you were silly, Adam Howell.
I'm silly. But you haven't specified what's silly about me, right? And this is like the only way I can actually get into close proximity of you guys without you guys threatening violence or something ridiculous, right? I mean,
schedule a meeting with us anytime you like. You just never do it.
yeah,
So
but that's
it's
not
the only
you.
way.
But you're a public servant, sir. Stacy, you are a public servant.
You claim it's the only way, and I just tell you it's not.
Why do you think that you're not accountable to the people, Stacy?
Why do you think I think that?
Because you're not willing to talk about real issues, right?
That's a different thing, isn't it now?
They're all scurrying off, guys. They're scurrying. They're scurrying. Like cockroaches. They're scurrying away from the park where we have extra rights. Some Supreme Court ruling decided that we have extra rights in a park, right? So when I start asking questions in the park, they all scurry away. What's up with that? What's up with that, you guys? Where's the transparency in modern policing? When they're not willing to talk about the First Amendment, they call it silly. Talking about the Constitution is silly, guys. Basic questions about policing, that's right. That's exactly what it is. I wanted to ask basic questions about policing. And they all got offended and scurried away. Here's the city's hybrid electric truck. This thing, pretty sure it's a hybrid. Unit 263. See, it's got an exhaust, guys, but it also has electric capabilities. So they charge it. I don't know where they charge it. I guess in the same spot where the gas tank is? Don't know. Okay, we've been here for 31 minutes. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I think I got the same response during the last part of their event as I would have for any part of their event. I think they would have given me the same answers to my questions.
Thanks for coming out.
And look at the newspaper.
Everett, Clint. Sorry, Kyle. Clint.
Okay, you mind talking about community policing?
I'm helping these guys clean up. Where did the cables go?
The two blue and the other one brown. Yeah.
Can I get your name and badge number, please?
Yep, Officer Clamp 944.
Clamp.
You need a...
Oh, this guy called me up and accused me of a crime on the phone. Richard Clamp. He called me up on the phone and accused me of calling somebody who I hadn't called.
Here, come, out. Now go in. Okay, straight.
It's right for the record. I don't have too many opportunities to ask questions. You know, so many times when I'm out there, these guys are, they're talking about their personal safety and you got to step back, or it's just never-ending officer safety cowardice, right? So when we do have a chance to ask questions, they all scurry away. They scurry. Put a noun in the chat that relates to the word scurry. Scurry is a verb, right? So what kind of insect scurries, you guys? What kind of insect scurries? What kind of insect scurries? Scurries. What kind of an insect scurries? Officer safety. It's usually officer safety. Tonight it was not officer safety, luckily, but it was it was just name calling instead. It was, "You're silly, Adam. You're silly. You're silly. You're a silly fella. We're not going to answer your questions." They got some of these fancy roadblocks, huh? Got some fancy roadblocks. Exactly for the record. That's Stacy for you. Most of the officers have left now. Evasive. Extremely evasive. Who else was I supposed to ask? It's not like the public information officer was standing by, right? So who really am I supposed to ask questions at this community event? Which officer was I supposed to ask questions of at this community event? They just come up with these fake parameters for who you can talk to and who you can't talk to, so they can evade.
it just sliding?
So Van Pearsall, welcome in Huntington Township Watch. So they didn't even run the event till 8. They shut the event down before 8 o'clock. And I think that they scheduled it at the same time as a city council meeting on purpose. I'm not sure what the exact purpose was, but maybe to divert people away from that city council meeting. There were a lot of people at the city council meeting tonight, and maybe there might still be, but there were not very many people here at this National Night Out event. Yeah, I was checking out our live Four Corner. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I am interested to see how that went, Four Corner, with that sergeant you were mentioning. What time is it? Anybody have the time? Oh, it's 7:54. So it's not even 8 p.m. That's interesting. They shut this event down way before 8. And, you know, basically, as soon as the good weather arrived, they started shutting down. As soon as I walked up, they started shutting down. They had a tent set up. They had a tent set up in the middle of Main Avenue over here. And as soon as I walked up and started doing my intro, they all started packing up. And screwing away. They started screwing away.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
This is a scary problem. I'll give it 2 minutes on that. And so we'll go.
Do you want us to just sit those outside?
Yeah, what's your first name?
On this thing. Yeah. Shit, I think that'll be right on the edge. Okay, it's got the cables.
I'll take that metal piece that you got.
That pin? I didn't have to get it.
Oh, it's right here.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Hey, Officer Camp, you be willing to answer some questions about your community event here?
Sorry, man. I gotta go off duty.
Gotta go off duty, huh?
Yeah, I got 3 minutes to get back to the PD and clock off. So.
This event was supposed to go till 8, and it's...
Yep, 7:57.
So we got 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, but I gotta get back to the PD. That's where the clock out is.
Doesn't seem right.
That's unfortunately how it is.
Would you mind talking to me about the Constitution you swore an oath to?
I gotta clock off, Adam.
The
Sorry,
First
man.
Amendment? You could, if you're good, you could read off the 5 freedoms of the First Amendment. What do you know what they are? Do you care what they are? I think it's a valid question.
Well, you have a good rest of your day, Adam.
That's it, guys. They don't answer questions. They ask them, but they don't answer them. All right, guys. Well, I didn't see any blue line flag signs here. They're all at the station in their lobby. That's their gang sign. So Stillwater apparently played here in the rain. All right, guys. I tried to ask as many questions as I could during the time frame when they were supposed to be here. You know, I pressed as hard as I could for transparency, and they just failed. They just failed. They just failed, you guys. They were so disdainful of my questions. You know, Stacy basically called me silly for asking questions. So the narrative was that I'm silly because I asked him questions about the First Amendment. That was the narrative, you guys. That was the narrative. Yes. An epic sunset going on here. Thank you, Drophead 74.
Yeah.